We're playing with fire here. We're playing with the destruction of the region. We're playing with the destruction of the United States of America. I mean, who really thinks we're at a point, let's just say hypothetically, that this would turn into another Iraq or Afghanistan? How many people think we can survive another one of those?
That's right.
Like, you think it's just a given? Look at our country right now. Our country was in a much stronger position in 2003 when we first invaded Iraq, or in 2001 when we first invaded Afghanistan, than we are today. We didn't have the crushing debt that we have today. We didn't have the cultural and racial and political divides that we have today. You know, we're in a much different situation, and we're risking that for nothing, just to get Benjamin Netanyahu's seventh regime change that he wants, so that Israel can get away with mistreating the Palestinians forever. That's the reason? Because I'm telling you, there's no other reason. They don't have nuclear weapons. They weren't a threat to the United States of America. They were coming to the negotiating table over and over and over again. They went out of their way to not want war.
So I actually saw the writing on the wall for Donald Trump for about 2 weeks ago, whenever we were having this debate about his big, beautiful bill. I have a big, beautiful bill. I'm going to deliver it to the American people. And in the big, beautiful bill, details started coming out. He planned on extending tax cuts to rich people, as well as cutting Medicaid by more than $400 million. And that's something that was totally contrary to what he said on the campaign trail. On the campaign trail, he specifically said in no uncertain terms that he would not touch Medicaid. He would not touch Social Security. That turned out to be a flat-out lie via the big, beautiful bill. That's exactly what it does. It guts Medicaid more than $400 million. And, even though, I'm not a bleeding heart liberal, I can't get on board with allowing poor people to die of things like cancer and diabetes. What kind of sick individual are you? You have to be some kind of a sick individual to advocate for something like that. So then I kind of started rescinding my support for Donald Trump. Furthermore, the writing is even more so on the wall with this whole Israel thing. This Iran war, the United States going to war with Iran, it's really a litmus test, a litmus test for whether or not you're brainwashed. We got a lot of brainwashed people running around here, and some people are brainwashed on the left, some people are brainwashed on the right. If I were to ask you, if a 6'3", 250 to 300-pound man with a penis and a pair of balls, if he were to put on a dress and put on a wig and put on makeup, what would you call him? Would you call him A mentally ill man, or would you call him B, a woman? If you answer anything other than mentally ill man, then I hate to tell you, well, I'm actually happy to tell you, that you're brainwashed on the left. This is why Kamala Harris lost. Most people are not brainwashed on the left. If you think that it's a fundamental right for a woman to be able to kill a baby in her womb and call it abortion, it's a woman's right, you're brainwashed on the left. It's simply unnatural, sick thinking that makes me, even though, I'm cringing at what Donald Trump is doing right now, it still makes me very happy that I didn't support Kamala Harris, because if Kamala Harris was in office, we'd be looking at more censorship. You probably wouldn't even be hearing my voice. We'd be seeing more DEI. We'd be seeing more incompetent black women take positions of power. That's not something I can get on board with either. It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'd rather have Trump in power and speak out against what he's doing. But with this whole Iran war situation, just like you can be brainwashed on the left, thinking that killing a baby is a fundamental right for a woman, thinking that a man can turn into a woman somehow, total brainwashing, you can also be brainwashed on the right. Okay? Brainwashed on the left, if you're brainwashed on the right, what you do is this idiotic thing of whenever people in power, whenever the Lindsey Grahams, whenever the neocon warhogs come to the forefront and say, hey guys, it's time for another Iraq. Hey guys, we must invade Afghanistan. Hey guys, we must do this bombing campaign in Syria. Your dumb ass is always on the forefront saying, hey, we're fighting for our freedoms. Guys, this litmus test, and if you don't know the litmus test is something that if you get wrong, it pretty much makes you an idiot. Okay, a litmus test, if you think a man is a woman, You failed that litmus test. We're not on the same team. If you believe you should be able to murder a baby, if you failed that litmus test, this Iran war thing is a litmus test. If you get this wrong, if you get this wrong and say that we should invade Iran and say that we should redo what we've been doing for decades now, which is start needless wars in the Middle East, then you're just simply brainwashed. Because this has nothing to do with our freedoms. Saddam Hussein, whenever we invaded Iraq, he never threatened American freedoms. You don't see the writing on the wall, you stupid right wingers, you stupid conservatives. You don't see the writing on the wall that you've been brainwashed. Oh, this is freedom. This isn't tyranny. We're not imposing worldwide violence. This is freedom. And you believe the talking heads on Fox News. You believe the Ben Shapiro's. Oh, please get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. You're being cooked by Israel. Israel tells you to jump, your stupid ass jump. Israel tells you to bow down, your stupid ass bows down. Israel tells you to invade Iran. What does your stupid ass do? Your stupid ass will get on X and say, oh, guys, we're doing such a great thing here. We're doing such a great thing fighting on behalf of America. When you're really not fighting on behalf of America, you're fighting on behalf of a bunch of idiots. That's just what's happening. And what makes you so idiotic is that we've had this test before. It would be different if we hadn't had this test before. We've had this test before in different variations, in fact. We had it with, obviously, the Iraq War. We invaded Iraq. We toppled Saddam Hussein's government. We created a power vacuum. And then guess who came to forefront? Guess who filled that power vacuum that we created? ISIS. ISIS. The United States government literally created fucking ISIS by carrying out the marching orders of Netanyahu and the rogue Israeli state. That's what we did. We're responsible for that. And then look, it's not a Republican or a Democrat thing. Obama did the same thing. Obama did the same thing. Israel wants to have power. Israel wants to be the sole power in the Middle East. So whenever Iran gets close to building a nuclear weapon, or they'll make up a lie that they're close to building, they've been close to building a nuclear weapon almost 3 decades now. Let Israel tell it. But whenever they feel their power is being threatened, their number one move, we must have regime change. We must shake things up. You know, and Israel doesn't do the dirty work themselves. They'll get you dumbass Americans to do it. Why? Because you dumbass Americans will do it and then call it freedom. We're fighting for our freedoms. Oh, get the hell out of here. That's so stupid. We did the same thing with Obama in Libya. Muammar Gaddafi was not a terrorist. He didn't give a damn about coming over to the United States and blowing up towers and terrorizing the American people. It was a lie. It was a lie. He was simply collectivizing way too much power, at least as far as Israel is concerned. And then Obama simply carried out Israel's marching orders of undergoing regime change and removing him from power. Did you see that Muammar Gaddafi video? His own people were literally shoving knives up his ass. The painful thing. If I ever become note to the American people, if I ever become dictator, which definitely I'm planning on doing that. If I ever become dictator and become overthrown, just kill me JFK style. Just shoot me in the face. Don't start shoving knives up my ass, broomsticks up my ass. No, just take me out easy. What they did to Muammar Gaddafi was sick. But what happened after Muammar Gaddafi fell from power? Literally, you had, about 2 or 3 years later, you had a Libyan slave trade. When has ever invading Middle Eastern countries, when has it ever worked out in our favor? When have we ever invaded a country over in the Middle East and they were like, thanks, guys. This is exactly what we were waiting on. This is exactly what we needed. Now we'll go to democracy. When does that ever happen? No, that never happens. What always happens every single time, whether you're talking about Libya, whether you're talking about Iraq, whether you're talking about Syria, Every time we invade these Muslim countries, we start more chaos, we generate more chaos than was there in the first place. Every time. And it's not like that by accident, it's like that by design. Israel wants chaos throughout the Middle East so that they can come in and install their own puppet pro Israel government. And the thing is, we do this shit with Iran. We may win the war. It's going to take we're going to spend trillions of dollars, be hundreds of thousands of lives, possibly even millions in this context, millions of lives lost. We can do it, but it's not going to. Israel is a hungry beast that never gets full. Israel is a hungry beast that never gets full. Not going to stop at Iran. Did they stop at Iraq? Did they stop at Libya? Did they stop at Syria? Hell no, they did. After after they topple that government, Pakistan is going to be next. After Pakistan, then Afghanistan, so on and so forth. For the rest of before you know it, your entire lifetime, your country would have been fighting war after war after war, spending trillions upon trillions of dollars, not on behalf of America first, but on behalf of Israel. Is that really the country you want to live in, conservatives? That's not what I voted for. That's specifically what I voted against when I voted for Trump. But he's showing his true colors now, and I hate to say it, but a lot of Democrats were right about him. Now, that don't mean I'm going to vote for your asses. I mean, y'all just as fucked up as Trump in a lot of ways. But hey, they were right. You got to give it to them. You got to give credence when it's due. Nonetheless, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And remember to like, subscribe, share, and as always, stay woke.
Stay long, don't stay long. Share love, they can sing this song. Every view counts, every life's a cheer.